Blessings and welcome to the Law of One, conscious channeling of LL Research. I am Robert, your humble narrator. It is my pleasure to speak to you on behalf of the Confederation of Planets in service to our one infinite Creator. And we are speaking now in this, our topic, the devotionally lived life. Walking by faith. Those of QO say it is often assumed by those who are not on a spiritual pilgrimage that the greatest boon of living a spiritually oriented life is the peace of having made such a deep choice. And indeed, there is that peace of commitment to a life in faith. However, what those not on the path often forget or do not know is that the pilgrimage towards eternity, while greatly speeding up the pace of spiritual evolution, is terribly uncomfortable and can seem inconvenient. The covenant to forget comfort is deeply true at times of the devotional life. And those souls who are expressing that all is sublime within them, approaches to a life are, in my opinion, largely those souls happening to enjoy good times. For although we may remain peaceful within our hearts while entertaining sorrow, grief, or anger, we can be said usually to have become, to a degree, uncomfortable. And although we always hope to learn enough so that we will be able to control our environment, we cannot do so in the metaphysical sense. The greatest wisdom that you shall ever learn in your density at this time is that you cannot know anything. In other words, that your incarnation is based completely upon faith. You are on a journey in uncharted waters, and your intellect will not be able to be so wise as to steer your spiritual journey. Many mistakenly attempt to live a spiritual life coming from the intellect and from wisdom. However, this energy does not make use of the open heart, and it will not take you far. And those seas into which it pitches you will be as confusing as the seas you left behind to seek for wisdom. It is our understanding, rather, that your density is a starkly simple stage set for making one choice again and again, and that is the choice to love and to be loved. In faith, there is a lot that has to do with guidance. Guidance is all around us. Of this I am perfectly convinced. The more we look at any outside authority for knowledge of what is going on in our experience, the less we give our own self-guidance system a chance to perform normally. I have had a lot of people write me with the desire to meet their own personal guides or guidance system. And while people can work to achieve this, I think it is a straighter path to the guidance within our deeper selves, simply to have faith that the guidance system is in place and that we are receiving hints and suggestions from it in our everyday lives. The skill then becomes to pay attention to the present moments as they pass. When we rest back into faith, we become ready to pay heightened attention to the present moment and to our hearts, meeting that moment with open love. Be or practice to be unafraid of trouble. Find ways to be serene while you are not understanding, for this lack of understanding will continue and is irrelevant to the process of spiritual evolution. When the heart is opening, a tremendous strength fills the spirit. Whenever this is not felt and you become aware that the heart is closed, we ask that you touch in to your own faith, to the guidance that surrounds you, to the love that overshadows you, the mystery that made you and claims you for its own, and rise refreshed and peaceful. Now, circumstances may upset us. Relationships may flounder our spirits temporarily. But if we live by faith from moment to moment, we may always refresh ourselves in the waters of our own being. We may be awash with the catalyst, but we can breathe the water, and the voyage cannot fail. The exercise of faith is simply that willingness to believe and to act upon that belief that there is a plan that is in effect and that cannot fail, and that plan will constitute a destiny that is a safe passage regardless of the many twists and turns that always occur. So we cannot in any way prove that a life in faith is a good choice. It often looks positively silly. But we can act as if our reliance on faith were completely deserved. For that is the essence of faith. It begins with act as if. Invoke faith without knowing that it is reasonable to do so. Live as though you had perfect faith that your destiny will come to you, and all that is for you will simply be attracted to you as it is time for it to appear. Live as though it were true, and notice those subjectively interesting hints and suspicions and suggestions and synchronicities that say to you, yes, you are on the right track. Each of you will have various experiences that, for you, grow to be the signal for, yes, you have got it right. Yes, this is what you should be doing. Eventually, we all do get moments of the most radiant apprehension and perception of the perfection of the plan. Mountaintop experiences will come to us, but faith walks the valleys. Our life is spent largely in the vales and along the rills of living. Those grand scenic panoramas of peak experience come as gifts only, not to inform or sustain. What sustains us may be, in part, the bare memory of such peak experiences, and I certainly have had my share of mystical states to recall with awe and humility. But my observation has been that they are not sturdy company back in the dales of daily living. I cannot trot them out, either for myself or for others, as binions to enhance faith. What continues to enhance faith is time spent in eternity and infinity. Daily time spent with the Creator. Time out of time and space. We may think of the silence that brings us to these things as a rainbow bridge. When you have determined that which creates the bridge to eternity for you, we urge you to cross that bridge as often as possible. The ideal which was shown by many entities is to live in such a way that the entire life experience becomes a parable of the journey to infinity, of the ridding of oneself of the dross of perishability, and the winning through of the understanding that your consciousness, more and more refined, polarized, and uplifted, is indeed imperishable and is your true self. The more time one spends having crossed the rainbow bridge into eternity while in the physical body, the more one is able to offer in consolation, in forgiveness, in peacemaking. For to one who has faith, there is no problem too great to solve, and that which is unsolvable is acceptable. Each day and night is its own eternity, appreciated for itself, experienced for itself, and action done for love out of faith. This is the life of faith. Within the third density illusion, each seeker of what you call the truth places itself in a position of receptivity to that truth by the intensity of the seeking and the strength of faith and will. So that at some point within the cycle of incarnations, it is possible for such a seeker not only to discover that which it seeks, but to become that which it seeks. This is the meaning of the resurrection within third density. The seeker builds with mortal hands a manifested life that may be constructed in such a fashion in metaphysical terms that known as love may move through the being in such a pure fashion as to shine as that which it is, the pure and virgin consciousness of the one Creator, moving to gain the experience of the creation which it has made of itself, and doing this within the life pattern of incarnate third density beings who have prepared this place within their life patterns, and thus not only receive that which is sought, but become that which was sought. For those willing to live by faith and the feeling of rightness, the life may feel that it is being lived more and more without effort, more and more like the well-oiled rifle which accepts the bullet and powers it most swiftly and straightly to the target, through all the air in between. The spirit within has the capacity to live as the bullet does, swiftly, straightly, accurately, and with substantial force. Even those who are without any sense of personal destiny may well find events quickening and becoming more simple because there has been, for whatever reason, a willingness to move forward without resistance when change of some kind is seemingly necessary. All these aspects of walking by faith may help to ease the difficulties of hard emotional times. Above all, let us find sympathy and love for ourselves when we are weary. We encourage you to comfort yourself when your journey is arduous and you need a place to rest. You have that within you and need only construct it in your mind. You may also, with your mind and your will, construct within your dwelling the tools for healing and for rebuilding the intensity of your faith that there is a path, that truth does exist, and that there is such a thing as love, and the will to seek that which your faith tells you is there.